This is Dawg Pound Daily, and today we're stepping into one of the most unusual, chaotic, but absolutely electrifying moments of the season. Week 12, Browns versus Raiders. Two teams with matching 2-8 records, two franchises facing turbulence, two locker rooms questioning their identity, and two desperate fan bases watching closely as the future begins to take shape. But this game is about more than standings, draft picks, or pride. This game is about the #1 storyline in Cleveland, the official beginning of the Shedeur Sanders era. For the first time in NFL history, Shedeur Sanders will walk into a stadium as QB1 of the Cleveland Browns. Not QB4, not an emergency replacement, not the kid who got thrown into a nightmare against Baltimore without reps, without preparation, without rhythm. No. This week, for the first time, he steps onto the field with intention, with timing, with practice, with a game plan tailored around him, and with a city watching his every move with anticipation and hope. The Browns, right now, are in a rare and fragile position. This season has been unpredictable, inconsistent, and downright aggravating at times. Dillon Gabriel, who showed flashes but never quite stabilized the offense, is out with a concussion. The running game has had to carry too much, the receivers have struggled to create separation, and the offense as a whole has been one of the least productive units in the league. But this week introduces something Cleveland hasn't had in a very long time: a clean slate. Shedeur Sanders enters Week 12 with something no quarterback before him has had this year: a favorable matchup, a full week of first-team reps, and a defensive titan behind him ready to flatten anybody who stands in the Browns' way. Because while the offense has battled inconsistency, the defense of the Cleveland Browns has been nothing short of elite. And that starts with the man who is playing the best football of any defender on the planet right now: Myles Garrett. 15 sacks, multiple forced fumbles, constant double teams, a Defensive Player of the Year campaign stronger than ever. And now, he draws an offensive line held together by hope and tape, missing its top talent, featuring replacements who have struggled all year to keep their quarterback upright. Geno Smith has been sacked 22 times this season. He has been pressured on nearly a third of his dropbacks, and now he faces the most dangerous pass rusher in football. This is what gives Cleveland the edge. This is the reason the Browns walk into this game with the clearest identity they've had in weeks. This is why this game is winnable, even with a young quarterback making his first start. Myles Garrett changes everything, and this matchup plays directly into Cleveland's strengths. But let's pull back for a moment and look at the bigger picture, because both of these teams are fighting for more than just bragging rights. The 2026 NFL Draft looms large. The future of both franchises sits in the distance like a lighthouse in the fog. And while nobody will ever say the word tank, the truth is simple. Every win and every loss shifts the long-term trajectory in dramatic ways. Yet Week 12 is different for the Browns, because while draft positioning matters, development matters more. This franchise is building something, slowly, carefully, and this week might be the moment we look back on and say, that was the turning point. That was when the Browns transitioned from chaos to foundation building. Because if Shedeur Sanders shines, if he shows poise, accuracy, timing, control, then Cleveland walks out of Las Vegas with something far more valuable than a win. They leave with a direction. Let's not sugarcoat anything. Last week was rough for Shedur. Against Baltimore, arguably the best defense in football, he entered the game with 0 practice with the starters and completed just 4 passes out of 16 attempts. That performance was ugly. But context matters. Preparation matters, and this week, for the first time, Shedeur Sanders has both. The Raiders' defense ranks 23rd in EPA per play allowed. They've been inconsistent. Their pass rush pops occasionally, but rarely sustains pressure. Their coverage has been vulnerable. And because of that, this matchup gives Shedur everything he needs to take his first real step forward. There is no better environment for a young quarterback to reset his narrative. With a full week working alongside Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, David Njoku, and the running back rotation headlined by Quinshon Judkins, Cleveland will simplify the game for him. Expect high percentage throws, expect quick game concepts, expect rhythm. Expect the Browns to lean heavily on a run-first identity so Shedur does not have to do too much too soon. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Raiders find themselves in instability of their own. Geno Smith has been unpredictable since the bye week. Some games he looks like a veteran, with control. Other games he collapses into turnovers, misses reads, and forces the Raiders' defense to spend most of the game on the field. Their offensive line is battered, their run game lacks consistency, and the offense, as a whole, struggles anytime pressure arrives early in drives. And that is precisely where the Browns become lethal. Myles Garrett is not just going to play well, he is going to dominate. He is going to take advantage of mismatches, collapse pockets, and remind everybody watching why he is the most feared defensive presence in the NFL. 2 sacks are not only realistic, they are probable. A forced fumble feels inevitable. Myles Garrett against this offensive line is a mismatch rarely seen this late in the season. But that's not the only area where Cleveland has the edge. Special teams have the chance to become the silent weapon of the afternoon. The Browns unit struggled last week but has been opportunistic all season long. In a game expected to be low-scoring, where every inch of field position matters, a blocked punt, a long return, or a pivotal kick could swing momentum at the exact moment Cleveland needs it. And make no mistake, momentum matters for Shedeur Sanders. Confidence matters. Rhythm matters. The Browns know this. The coaches know this. And for the first time all season, the game plan will reflect it. Now let's talk about the bold prediction that has the entire league watching. Shedeur Sanders will outplay Geno Smith. That's right, a rookie making his first career start, 1 week removed from a brutal introduction to NFL speed, will outperform a veteran quarterback. Not because he throws for 4 touchdowns or launches deep bombs down the sideline, not because he becomes a superstar overnight, but because he will be calm, efficient, composed, and protected by one of the best defenses in football. The system will work for him this week. The reads will be clean. The throws will be manageable. The matchups will favor him, and the defense will give him short fields and extra possessions. 200 total yards, a touchdown, fewer turnovers than his opponent. That is the formula, and if he executes it, the Browns walk out of Week 12 with a 17-14 victory, moving to 3-8 and beginning the next chapter of their rebuild with a rookie who just proved he belongs. This game may be low-scoring. It may be ugly. It may look like a defensive slugfest from the first quarter to the final whistle, but that is exactly the kind of game Cleveland is built to win. Because when the lights dim, when the plays tighten, when every yard becomes a battle, it is the defense that takes over. It is Myles Garrett who changes the outcome. It is Shedeur Sanders who steps into a moment he has been preparing for his entire life. And it is the Cleveland Browns who seize the opportunity. So, Dawg Pound, what do you think happens in Week 12? Do you believe Shedeur Sanders is ready to deliver his first true statement in the NFL? Do you think the defense will dominate the Raiders the way we expect? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to Dawg Pound Daily, and stay locked in with us as we cover every step of this new chapter. Because the future starts now, and Cleveland is ready to take it.